the way many of you, a lot of people received our message that it is time for me to arise and contest to become president in this nation. It was a very, very good response from the whole community and Shalabuche Adenta area. And many people began to work. Here we see many of the young men, young women, so many people. I want to say thank you to all of you for the great reception that we've had so far. It's really been wonderful. And just to say that we have been trying to come out and actually contest these elections many months ago. But as party people, we need to explain that it is not easy going through all the processes, eventually making yourself known. So we were delayed again and again and again till finally, only about 3 weeks ago, that we were able to make our intentions public across the whole country. And so you also heard about us only a few weeks ago. So it's not that we've been quiet, we've been working hard behind the scenes, preparing to come out to meet all the regulations, statutory regulations that allows us to come out. Because in our hearts, we have come to see that we can no longer leave the destiny of this nation in the hands of MPP or NDC. We can't do that. Both parties have had 16 years to govern this nation. But the 16 years they have spent, I don't know what they have done. The 16 years the other also spent, I don't know what they have done. In fact, if we take the 32 years of the Fourth Republic together, this is where we stand now as a nation. We are now being called among the poor nations of this world, of the world. It is very, very sad. Because of these things, I have felt over the years that God had empowered me to raise up men and women who will go and do great things in the nations. And over my course of my ministry, I raised up many men and women who are many places, corporate Ghana, everywhere, doing great things, learning how to work and lead companies and associations over the whole place. But the last few years, it became clear to me that I've got to move towards the goal myself. I've got to take the mantle myself. And so we began to work in order to achieve this. And so the work began. And eventually we got to this place where I became the flag bearer of the Progressive Alliance for Ghana. And we began to share our message broadly. And we want to say that the setback that we have experienced now is not a stop, but it is only a pause. The setback that we have experienced, having to pull out of the campaign to contest 2024 elections, is not the end, but it's only a pause, allowing us to take time and then come back again. So, you know, in every setback, there is an opportunity. In every difficulty, there is an opportunity waiting. And so when we got to the point of pulling back, it was very hard for us. It was very difficult for us. But because we knew that that was the right thing to do, we took that difficult step. We took it. Once we took the step, we began to look for where are the opportunities for us here. And suddenly we began to discover that there are many precious opportunities that await us if we will open our eyes and see. First of all, there is a great opportunity of time. Everybody say time. Now, you will realize that from the time that we announce that we're going to contest these elections, when some of you heard about us, we had less than 3 months to go into the elections. Now, 3 months, we can do some things. 3 months, we can accomplish some things. In fact, 3 months, we can achieve some things. But here's the truth. What we could have done within 3 months cannot be compared with what we can do in 4 good years. So once we pulled out, we began to see, oh, this is a tremendous opportunity for us now to get not only you guys seated here to know about PAG, to know about Dr. John Kpikpi, to know about all the plans that we have for this nation, but it will give us the time to get groups like this formed in every town, in every city, in every region of our country. And everybody will know about us. So when finally we arise, like the tree that is the seed that has been planted, we arise and come out like an army of party people ready to contest in 2028. There will be no doubt that we will come out on top of it all. Which means that those of you listening to me here, you are the seed that my campaign manager spoke about. You are the people who are going to begin to do the work. Put the time, put the energy, put your money into it. And when you sow seeds like that, you sow yourselves into this. At the right time, the whole thing will spread all over the nation. You know, yes. I know some of you are going to be the seed that is going to go to Asakrangwa. Some of you are going to go to Cape Coast. Some are going to go to Tamale. Some of you from here, after getting the whole of Ashale, but you're interested, you might go to Bolga, you might go to Keta, you might go to wherever. But many of you will actually become our strong party representatives in all these parts of the country. And that excites me a lot. And so we have started something now. So we thought we got time on our hands now. And time is precious. Time is so important. And I think that with this time in our hands, when we use it properly, we'll be in a completely different place. My campaign manager told you about the problems we had getting loyalists across the whole country. We got many people. Our teams worked very hard, day and night. They traveled across the country. They did so much work. But as a young party, we were stretched. We worked so hard, but it was really, really a stretch. So that when we look at the results that they all got, we realized that, wow. When we look at it, we thought, no, we shouldn't rush this into going to give it to the EC. If we rush it like this, we will not look very good. But we are an excellent people. We want the work that we present to the EC to be excellent. We want everything we do in this country to be excellent. Because we are bringing excellence into this nation, it must start with us. So we felt that, look, rather than spoil our name by giving something that is not 100%, let us pull back, take time, present an excellent report next time. So now that we have taken that step and discovered that we have this time, we need to use these meetings to educate members. We're going to tell you a lot about politics. All of you are going to become so knowledgeable about politics, about the nation. We're going to train so many of you. And as I speak, many of you here listening to me should consider becoming MPs, party chairmen, all over the place. Because this is a very, very important step we are taking. We can no longer sit back and watch our nation being torn apart, being completely distorted. There's so much corruption in our nation, so much terrible things happening. We are drowning in debt. The government has borrowed so much money that now all the money that we make, we use it to pay our debts. And still we can't pay all the debts. We don't know, many of you do not know how bad the situation is. But the government is broke. Ghana is broke. Now this is where we come in. Because let me tell you, Ghana potentially is one of the richest countries on the whole continent of Africa. It is. This country called Ghana has more wealth, in potential wealth, than Germany, than United Kingdom, than Denmark, than Austria, than all these European countries that you want to go, than France, all these European countries you want to go into. Ghana is sitting and walking on more wealth than all these nations put together. Its value is more than what these nations have. Our bauxite, our oil that we take from the ground, crude oil, if you put all these resources together, and then of course our iron ore, what is used to make all these metal things here, is in the ground. The iron ore in Pudo, iron ore is Opomansi in the western region. The iron ore in this country, the value goes into trillions and trillions of dollars. So when it comes to the wealth of this country, Ghana is number one. God has given us so much wealth, and unfortunately, some of us, we are just walking on it and walking on it. We don't even know we are walking on it. But to make it worse, our leaders, successive governments of this nation, they have simply given the oil, giving the gold, giving all these things out almost for free to foreigners to take to their countries. That is why they look like they are wealthy, while we here who are the real owners, we don't get anything. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Because what they are doing is that they are selling our future. What they are doing is that they are destroying our future. In fact, they are conspiring with foreigners to give them everything that this nation owns. So all the gold taken out is given out. And they get, I'm sure the leaders get something out of it. That's why they do this. So it's really, really a bad situation. We don't want this to continue. That is why a PhD government is pledging that come 2028, when we come into power, we shall make sure that we shall change all these arrangements so that all the wealth we make will come to Ghana. We need to go and borrow ever again. But that is only part of it. There is the oil. If we kept, let's say, just 50% of what we made from the oil, we will never go borrowing anywhere again. But there's more than that. There's the iron ore. There is the bauxite. So many things God has given this nation. The only problem is bad leadership. That is why we kicked off and started PAG. So that if we can provide the right leadership, we'll change the story completely. Another very precious thing in our nation, in fact, the most precious wealth that we have in the nation are you, the people of Ghana. Ghanaians are the most precious part of this country. And God has given us minds and hearts and lives. And Ghanaians are very smart. They can do so many great things. Unfortunately, the leaders don't create the conditions for them to use their creativity and use their mind to achieve great things. You know, many Ghanaians who are abroad, some of them are working at space exploration stations. Some of them are in very high positions doing great things. The same Ghanaians. But if you bring them here, the government will begin to attack them, will begin to work against them, will begin to prosecute, do all kinds of things because they fear any challenge to their authority. A PhD government will lift up the profile of the Ghanaian. A PhD government will create the conditions that will allow us to have every Ghanaian achieving their maximum potential. Now, think about this. The precious people, human beings, now they can operate to their fullest potential. And then the resources in the ground are also there for them to connect with. Within a few years, we will transform this country into a very, very wealthy, happy, and prosperous nation. Amen? A few years of us in power, the way Ghanaians have been queuing up at the embassies of foreign countries to go out into France or Europe or wherever, we shall change all that. We shall change all that. Nobody will want to leave this country again because the potential will be there. They can get everything they want. And then something else will change. Now, many nations will be queuing up in our embassies abroad. They want to come to Ghana. They will be begging us to come to Ghana. We shall also flex small. We will not give them visas easily. They will be begging, but they can come in. We want to do all these things. But it's clear that the missing factor is good leadership. And this is the leadership that we are presenting to this nation. This is the leadership that we tried to present at 2024, but clearly it looks like we have to step back now from that. I'm ready, but I don't know whether the chariot that should deliver me was ready. The chariot is the party structure. The chariot is the party infrastructure, which we must now go back to, pull back to, as the bow and arrow picture that Anim Nuama was showing us. We must pull back and build all these structures. And I want to encourage you all that you all come and join us in this task over the next, starting now, over the next 4 years. We would give attention to going around this country, establishing strong communities who will be well trained in the values and vision of PAG. A key thing that I must mention to us is integrity, which is just telling the truth and being honest around money and things like that. Saying it at its taste, no lying. We get, in fact, at the moment, we get too many lies around money in this country, from the highest position to the lowest. A PAG government is going to make sure that we establish integrity to be at the core of government, where our R is R and our B is B, and where there will be so much integrity that it becomes the culture of the government. And that culture allows us to influence everybody else in this nation, so that decisions that are made in the highest quarters of the nation, those decisions will be made in favor, because putting Ghanaians and Ghana first rather than the individuals who are in position. We'll think about every person, what the best things can get to them, what is the best possible decisions that will bring the best into the lives of the people. We are very, very keen that everybody is well cared for in this nation. We're going to raise the size. We're going to bring big vision. We're going to raise the size of the nation. And of course, every person will be cared for in this country, because my heart is a heart of care and love for all peoples in this nation. That's what we're bringing. So we will be teaching you these things in meetings like this. Maybe when we come and we want to make this become things that are proper and nice and right and true. I see a new nation where there is justice being done in this country. Those who do the wrong things will have to be punished, and those who do the right things should not be mistakenly put into prison, as is happening now. Right now in our country, those who do wrong, they are going around free. Those who do the right thing, they are thrown into prison. It should never be the case again. I see a new nation where there's so much abundance, prosperity for all, not only for a few people, that we all can live here in dignity and in honor, and we'll see reach our maximum potential in this country. Ghana will become #1 among nations. I see that all happening, and we are beginning with you as the seed. Let's get down to work. I appeal to you, let's get down to work. When we call you, come to these meetings, we start talking about these things. Some of them we cannot do them because we are not in government, but some of them we can start. because we have among us different people with different abilities, different capacities, we can get going. So the future starts now. 2028 starts now. Let's get down to the work. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong.